Hello everyone, we should now be live, hopefully. Yes, I think we are. Let me know if you can hear me in chat. Is it working? There we go. Hello, King Giga. All good, says Kairu. Lovely. So yes, today this is not like a serious heavy-duty stream. This is kind of like a semi-test stream. YouTube is already complaining at me. What I'm trying to do is to get streams to be in better quality, because I've noticed in some of the previous streams that the quality is kind of a bit blurry. So yeah, I've done a couple of things. I'm trying to upscale the stream to 1440p and increase the bitrate by quite a bit as well, just to see if it looks better on playback. Now, apparently YouTube is telling me I'm not allowed to do 1440p and keep the ultra low latency chat. So I'm assuming you guys are just seeing 1080p. If you guys could check, someone could check the your resolution options and just see what the highest is that it's letting you have. That would be helpful. So you can see 1440p. So I don't know why it's giving me a great big yellow warning saying that it can't do ultra low latency chat. Anyway, yeah, this map. So I was having a look at all the maps because I want. Let's do this properly, shall we? So, wanted to rebuild my mod testing and species testing map because the Great Britain one is okay, but I've kind of wanted something that's a little more visually impressive, shall we say. And something that works a little better for species testing, because obviously you've only got one aviary there, there's only one lagoon there. So I wanted to rebuild it. Had a look through the maps. This one on the tops of the mountains in California, I thought, you know, it has a really beautiful, amazing backdrop to it. And I like the triple sort of areas as well, because it means that we have that natural separation between the three areas that we're going to put in. So I thought this map would work brilliantly. So we're going to have the sort of the terrain-based animals down here, we're going to have the lagoon-based animals up here, and then up here we're going to have an aviary. And we're also, you know, we're going to do it properly. We're going to decorate the park and everything else as well. So hopefully this should also be... I'm going to turn the music on because I just realized that I turned it off earlier. Let me just turn that music back up. There we go. So yeah. I thought it was a good thing that we could do while I was obviously testing this new stream bitrate. What do you folks think? Does it look clearer than normal? Does it, you know, is there pixelation or noise or blurriness? Because that's the thing that I'm trying to stop. It's a sort of strange sort of blurry sort of noise that I've noticed some of my streams actually get. That is the thing we are, or I am trying to cut down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna just make the water here a little larger. Nice. Lovely. Happy with that. Now we might need to. So this is roughly the size of the area I want to use. And actually, you know, just thinking about general sort of park building here. I actually think building yourself a species testing map or sort of mod testing map is a really good way of just sort of bringing out some ideas you might have, because you can, it's a facility park, so you don't have to worry about making it look nice, but you can sort of challenge yourself to make a facility that looks nice. And also just, you don't have to build massive long-winded amenity filled areas and huge amounts of paving. You can just focus on sort of compressed decorated areas, and so you can see what looks good. Excellent. It's gonna give the river some bigger rock sort of texture in the middle. Anyway, how was everyone's days today? Since we're having a relaxed, sort of chatty sort of stream, how was everyone's days? I know us lot in Britain, we've had announced that our Prime Minister is holding a general election in a couple of weeks' time, which has been a bit of a surprise. So that was some good news. I can't wait to see him finally be gotten rid of. There we go, lovely. I'm thinking of making a testing park myself after I'm done with a small build on the UK map. I think the UK map is a really good possibility for a testing build. Also, is it Santa Santidigidius Island? Something like that. I cannot pronounce the name of that place. Santidigidius Island. The Greek island, yes, the Greek one. Yeah, I think that's that could make for a really interesting one, I think. So, where are we on? So that is just thinking about the angling here. Let's just go with that then. There's our arrival point. Now there are a few buildings that I want to think about having in this area. I want to have the control center. I want to have something a bit more scientific in nature. So the science center, because something I'm trying to do with new species and stuff is thinking, you know, is looking at park ratings and stuff, which you need the tech tree for. So it's good to have the science center. Some staff center buildings. A response facility of some description. I'm just going to have a look actually and compare these response facilities. I want to see which ones I like, which one I like the best. Okay, so this one is the bias-in chopper. I think we should go for like the InGen skin. Can we put that on? See, I like the I do like the truck though that the bias-in building has. This, I think this is quite a chunky looking Jeep. These guys, it's just a bit. This Jeep again just looks a little unchunky, although I do prefer the building. Does the skin... So obviously this chopper has... Does the skin actively change? Oh, I see. So the actual design of the chopper is important as well. So this one has like the hook on the outside. This one is just a standard shape. This one also has the hook. This one, would it literally just be... Oh no, okay, so the hook is actually part of the model as well. Okay, so I really don't like those Jeeps. They're just remodels of the Jurassic World Jeeps. I think the bias-in building... I just prefer the bias-in Jeeps. I think they look a bit more substantial. So we'll go with those. We'll go with the bias-in building. Sounds a bit quiet. I just realised my brand new headphone. I've got brand new headphones, and they're different to the ones I used to use. So I keep having to turn them down, otherwise I get deafened. JWE2 players when new dinosaurs are released. Today's subject: slavery. Hello, Joshua. You're going down the river Liffey? I don't know what that river... I don't know how to pronounce the name of that river. I'm sorry. Let's have a look at this building. You've got stairs here. Quite like to see if we can find a way to combine these buildings together. Why is that... Why has it just shrunk itself? Okay. Did you see that? The building, like, shrank into the ground. It's weird. Right, so there's a staircase on the outside of that building. So what I want to do is kind of join the staircase into this building somewhere where it makes sense. Quite like the idea of that. So you've got like the stairs above the outhouse that comes down beside this building out to the back here, and then you've got this and then these guys would be, yeah. Or does it look like the other way around? I don't build facilities very often, so I want this one to look really good. So maybe it would be then there. I think I prefer that, actually. Because then that way people coming down this stairwell, they have access to in here. Yeah, I think I prefer that layout. The first pronunciation was correct. So Liffey, it's a river in Dublin down to the heart of Ireland. Oh, nice. What are you? Are you going down in something, or are you just like, are you just going to hurl yourself into the river and hope that you go the right way? I assume you're going to be in some conveyance of some sort. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you are going to hurl yourself down. Ah, you're going in a canal boat. Very pleasant. I admit I like the idea of canal boats, but I find actual canal boating horribly dull. I remember we had like a school trip to you know, go on a canal boat for a field trip. And I can't remember ever quite feeling as bored as I did on that school trip. Yeah, I'm going with the impact program. It's an autism program. Huh. We're going to learn about the history of the river and see the attractions nearby. Oh, well, I hope you have a good time. No. As a history teacher, I support all history field trips, even ones on canal boats. Nice. Do I want to do that? I think I'll probably want to line it before I put any extra path either side. We also have to think about where we're going to put all of our hatcheries. Which is something I've just remembered we're going to need. So the last build I had 2 hatcheries in the front. Here. Were they those ones? I think they were those ones. One on the side and then one at the back. I think I've positioned this wrong, you know. Maybe I should have started with the hatcheries. Let's start again. This is the sort of thing you have to be aware of when you're doing shit like this. Let's start again. Let's start with the actual... Let's start with the biggest buildings. That's probably the cleverer idea. So let's do you there. How can I make sure that sticks to the fence? do it. So let's put this one. Oh, blimey. Sorry, I'm losing track of chat. Any plans to cover Prehistoric Kingdom on this channel? Yes. I mean, I do occasionally stream Prehistoric Kingdom. The issue is Prehistoric Kingdom does kind of have a big problem. And that is, it takes a colossal length of time to do anything. And the problem with that is it doesn't make for very good streams or videos. I think I'm going to put it actually slightly diagonally just to give us some more room. And I'm going to put the next one there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then we're going to put I'm gonna put another one. I mean, I suppose we don't have to stick with the same style. Oh, this is what happens when I have an idea and then I think, well, actually. Maybe a blank rectangle isn't the best way to go here. Maybe we want something that's a little like straight with a curved end. That might fit better. Okay. Yeah, the problem with the Prehistoric Kingdom is that it takes way too long to get anything done. And as a result, it can become a bit draining if you're doing streams on it. But I do intend to try and get some more streaming on it done. Hopefully reasonably soon. Let's put you about there. Do I want you actually more here? Now let's go with the diagonals. Why is that? So that's straight. That's off straight, so that will be straight. So let's do one of those there. Let's do one more. There. That should give us plenty of nice views, I think. Okay. Let's get rid of all that. And let's get connecting with fencing. So where are the straight lines? That's... Okie dokie. Let's do... diagonal from there. Okie dokie. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a pretty big compound, isn't it? I don't think it needs to be that big. Let's put in the next fence, which can just be like... Whoops. Fletcher, did the French use a full white flag for the French flag at one? I'm not going to answer that, because I don't want to upset anybody. That is my very politically correct position I take on that. You're only watching Chaos Theory for the dinosaurs, King Giga. That doesn't surprise me. I think a lot of people are, probably. Okay, this feels a little nicer, actually, now. And if we put, like, I think if we put one of these here... Okay, so we have, you know, 3 release points, nicely spaced out. Relatively easy to get some good camera angles. This one is kind of in the shadow a bit, but it's fine. Biosyn response facility. I kind of want to have it like here. Or maybe here? See, if I have it that way around, though, we can have like a garage at the back. Let's not have it too close to the fence. Let's go... Yeah, no spoilers in chat, please. I shan't be. I'm not watching. I'm not going to be watching it. I have absolutely no fucks to give for that program. If I'm being honest, I don't care about it. I'm sorry to say. I didn't really have an interest in Camp Cretaceous either. Primarily just because it's a cartoon and it was just full of kids. It's just I know people will say, oh, well, it can be mature and more adult, but I'm like, yeah, but it's still primarily aimed at younger audiences, and I just don't think that's what the Jurassic franchise should be. Why has it come out at a bizarre angle? They lost me at season 4. They got more mature in... well, yeah, but it's still a bunch of kids at the end of the day, and I just could not bring myself to watch a bunch of children. It just reminded me of Jurassic World's kids and how little I gave a damn about them either. Okay, this is coming along a bit easier now. Okay. Right. Next, I think we should put in the other buildings. Why does that one not seem... Something seems wrong with it. I was right. Something is wrong with it. I knew it. It wasn't actually on a snap angle. I thought something was off. Help, I accidentally put Thanatos Dracos with the Archelons and it thinks it's a penguin. Oh, if he wants to be a penguin, let him be a penguin. Right, so there's a few other buildings I want to put in here. Some standard good old viewing galleries. One there. One there. One there. And I think we could do with one over here somewhere. Actually, let's put one sort of relatively center-ish there. And we're going to put one next to this building here. Just like that. Right, next building is the response center. Now, I think over here strikes me as the most logical place to put it. I do want it to have access, though, to gates and stuff, so would that work here? Would it work here? Would work there, but I don't want to ruin that area. So maybe here strikes me as the best. Along this back angled wall here. And then we can have like the gatehouse-ish area here. Or over here. Might get rid of that viewing gallery here, actually. Thank you, Maxi. You've just found my channel today and you love my videos. Well, thank you. I do try and put out as many videos as I can. I mean, in actual fact, one of the reasons I wanted to do a stream today was because I'm aware I haven't been able to put out a video yet. The reason why is because me and Dane have been quite busy this week. There's been all sorts of stuff going on. And there's also some stuff going on Friday, which me and him are kind of like preparing for. And as a result, it means I haven't been able to sort of have the time to put out the video I wanted to get done yet. And I probably won't be able to get the editing of that video finished until Friday afternoon, probably. So the video is going to be a bit late. So I thought, well, I'll do a stream today. I can test the new streaming setup, and I can also, you know, just give you guys some time with me when you might otherwise miss out. So that's the theory anyway. I think we'll put the Star Science Center next door. You know what? I'm actually going to combine these two. Let's not combine too much. Let's go to there. Yeah, I like that. Make it just make it look like they're sort of one building. Will scientists be enabled? Oh, so this is just a mod testing and species testing park. So there won't actually be the enabling of anything. Yeah, look, everything I think I've given myself too much room, if I'm honest. I think I've definitely exaggerated how much room I thought I was going to need. It's always the way. You're like, oh, I don't want it to look too compacted and too compressed, and then it's like you put stuff in their places, and then you think, oh, I've actually got so much wasted space. That's just about straight. Yes. See, that does spoil having a car. Oops. That does spoil having a car park for that building. So let's reposition it to here, just about there. Gives enough room in the back here. And then we can move the other observation area to here. What gates shall we use? I am a big fan of those classic gates. What we're going to do is we're going to construct an airlock, but we're not going to have it literally on the wall. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, shut it, delete the gate there, put the gate here, or rather I would if it would let me. Are. Since JWE is on life support, is it on life support, do you think? I mean, this is a question I've been pondering this question since Evo did her video the other day, and trying to decide whether I think this is like the last DLC or not. And I found myself unable to give myself a clear answer. I honestly don't know either way. whether it's the last DLC or not. Because we've been completely surprised by Frontier every other time. Every time we think we got Frontier figured out, they do something that's like, oh, actually, surprise. So I don't know. There's our airlock. That's going to be our garage. You think they've pulled the plug on it, Cairo? And King Giga says, I believe it's mods that's keeping the game alive. I mean, yeah, I think... You know, I wrote a particularly... not rude post to someone on Reddit today, but a post which I kind of wanted to be, you know, putting someone in their place. Because he said on the Reddit, I don't see why they can't just keep developing Jurassic World Evolution 2. We don't need a third game, and what would a third game even achieve? Because the only things the JWE2, you know, we needed, basically his idea was that we needed Jurassic World Evolution 2 because we didn't have the aquatics or the aviaries. We have them now, so we don't need another new game. That seemed to be his argument. And I thought it was a very bizarre argument to have. Even I, as someone who... Why is that not... It is straight. It just looks not straight. Even I, as somebody who honestly thinks Jurassic World Evolution 2 is a failure, thinks that Jurassic World Evolution 2 did a lot more than just bring lagoons and aviaries. There's so much more that it did. So for someone to go, oh well, we don't need a new game because we have the bits that we were desperately wanting. I was like, what? Well, exactly. That was my position, the monster. And you know, the way I described it to the original poster was, imagine you have a wall in your house, or imagine you've got a room in your house, and you start with a nice plastered wall, and then you wallpaper it, and then a few years later you decide to paint over the wallpaper, and then a few years later you decide to paint over the paint, and then maybe you decide to get some new wallpaper, and then someone else moves in and decides, oh, we'll do something completely different. Eventually, you have to take it all off, strip it all the way back to the brick wall that it originally started as, and restart, you know. And I think that's a very good metaphor for game development. There's only so much you can do with one game before you have to strip it all back to the original code and the original concepts and rebuild it. And if you do that, you get a better product as a result. Or at least that was my opinion. I have a suspicion that the fellow is not going to necessarily agree, but, you know, people are free to have their own opinions on things, aren't they? He says, wistfully smiling, while ignoring many of the stupid arguments he's seen on Reddit over the years. Okay, this is forming up to be a little better. It's taken about an hour to get to this stage, but I actually kind of am liking how this is turning out to start with. You know, one of the problems that the old UK version of my mod testing map had was that there wasn't very much space for me to sort of add buildings or decorative elements to it, because, you know, it might be a mod testing map, but I want it to look good. I do have my reputation to uphold. So this hopefully will give me a bit more freedom to design some stuff. Because there's a lot of empty space here which we can do some bits and bobs with. Yeah, add some extra facility buildings and do some decorative touches. Has the biosim building got doors around the outside? It hasn't. So what we can do is give them... That's a bit too much. No, actually, we'll give them that space there, and they've got that space there. That allows them a bit of a decorative area out the front there. I think we've got actually too much empty space here. Let's see if there's some more facility buildings that we could put in that we don't often... Oh, actually, there was one thing I did want to do. I want a hyperloop. Actually, I want to connect them with hyperloops. So... where could we have a hyperloop? Hey, it would kind of fit there, wouldn't it? Okay, that'll be our hyperloop station. don't really like the fact that the staff room is going to be right there. So let's shift the staff room to over here. And let's have it that way around. And the science center, we can keep here because it's suitably far enough away. Let's give it a bit of a gap so that we can have a sort of a wall or something around it, because after all we are thinking about security. Up there. Yeah. How is the stream looking, by the way, folks? I haven't had any alerts on OBS. So, as far as I'm aware, I haven't got any dropped frames or anything. But obviously I won't know unless you guys tell me. That's good. Happy with that. Actually gonna leave that area there. Let's put a... It's got a big... There's a big thing there, isn't there? Let's... I know that was very technical, a big thing. I love how this place consists mainly of a ramshackle technology of the DFW, and then there's two hyper-modern buildings from Biosyn. I mean, I would really love if somebody could, like, do a retexture of some of the buildings so that they could fit more in with a different time period. Because I really love the Biosyn buildings. I just, you know, don't love the fact that they're Biosyn. I would love to be able to make use of them in other, you know, and other building eras, and it sort of look like it makes sense. Let's go up here. Let's give them a little bit more room. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good general layout, I think. Shall we move on to laying out a different area, or shall we finish down here? Since we're about halfway through, shall we finish down here first, or shall we move to the lagoon area? What does chat think? I'm just going to have a quick drink and respond to a few messages. Maybe we could put another staff center down here, actually. I do have Kaidenix's mod installed, Dinosaur King. Is it legal to make dinosaurs rip each other's guts out? I don't think it is legal, no. But I suppose you could always Emperor Palpatine it and make it legal. This is why we need smaller fences. It's a bit of a severe wall, but I want the station to feel like it's, you know, well protected. Yeah. Fletcher hates fights. Yeah, I think everyone knows that, Dinosaur King. Given the amount of disdain I have for particular elements of both Dominion and Jurassic World. I mean, I would like to defend myself by saying I don't hate the idea of dinosaur fights, because I know obviously the obvious response if I say, oh well, I don't like dinosaur fighting, is someone will then turn around and go, yeah, but the original films had it. And that's true, they did. My problem is not with dinosaur fights. My problem is with how the dinosaur fights come to be. Because arguably a lot of them make absolutely no sense. Actually, we'll use the nice ones. You know, dinosaur fights and kaiju fights and all the rest, they're perfectly acceptable elements of a Jurassic film. If the film has done the work to deserve them in the first place, you know, if the film has had plenty of good character moments, if the film has restrained itself up to that point and it's now letting loose a bit, if it's doing all these things, then yeah, go nuts. Have your big wild movie monster smash everything up scene. Go right ahead. But if you haven't done that work, and arguably I would say I don't think that Jurassic World Dominion did, then you don't deserve to have the action scene. So it just ends up feeling a bit gratuitous. That's my view. Man, I don't want to imagine leaving Colin Trevorrow in a room with Fletcher. Only one of them's leaving the room alive. Yeah, probably, actually. Or rather, there would be very stern words had, shall we say? There would certainly be questions asked. Especially of Jurassic World Dominion, which I feel very strongly is probably the worst film I have seen in a very long time. And I mean, being a Star Trek fan, I've seen some pretty awful movies. But Dominion just takes the biscuits. It's like Dominion decided to obey all of the worst cliches of every action film. And do it with such unlikable characters. And what the hell was Ian Malcolm? See, now you've done it, Awesome Productions. Now you've done it. You've got me on a rant about Dominion. God damn. You've got me ranting. Oh, that film still triggers me. Like, and it still triggers me really badly, too. It's like so annoying to me, that movie. Okay, let's switch to the concrete fence wall that I have. Because that's going to sort of divide off this area here or here. Let's do it about there. Actually, let's get rid of that one. And let's just have one. Let's give them like a small cut through, not a massive one. Just give them a small one. Right. Let's give them some garages. I quite like the idea of these tents being the covered garages. Then we're going to have a more substantial thing here for like repairs and stuff. Maybe a fuel truck. Have a couple of cranes. Let's grab this one. I'm actually going to raise it up. Just put it up a little bit deliberately at an angle to make it look like it's just kind of been dumped up there a bit. Good. Then you got people bitching about why there's no dinosaurs in the Monsterverse. Besides the fact we barely got to see dinosaurs out in the wild. Yeah, see, Berenson, I think you have hit the nail right on the head there about why I don't like Dominion. And it's not because I actually don't like the concept, actually. What pisses me off the most about Dominion, and it really does piss me off, is they had a really good setup. Animals loose in the wild, and all the carnage that could result from that. And they did nothing with it. Instead, we got a plot about giant mutated insects. I'm like, what? You've released dinosaurs into the wild. You've got them off the island. And your idea is to do a story about a bunch of giant bugs? What in the fresh hell are you on about? Like, what the fuck? Seriously, if I had been Paramount and Colin Trevorrow had come into the room and said, I've got the plan for the next film, and then had told me that the next film was going to be all about giant insects, I would have fired him. I would have been... There would have been no conversation. It would just have been, aha, very interesting. You're fired. And then I would have gone and gotten someone else to make the movie. I mean, frankly, Trevorrow should have been on a, you know, iffy list after the fucking disastrous choice of adding hybrids. I mean, who signed off on that? Right, we need an area or two for like containers and stuff. So, right. Before I put containers in, let's put in the watchtowers. So, I want a watchtower along this wall. That's a shame. I'd have liked it to be on both sides. But they've got those stupid crates there. Okay. So, a watchtower there. A watchtower there. One, let's have one like in this corner. Let's have one against this. Let's have one against here. Let's have one in this little gap. Or 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's all the numbers that we need. Fletcher equals Injustice, Superman, Colin Trevorrow, anyone who actually likes Dominion. The Joker. Yeah, at least we didn't get the human dinosaur hybrids from JP4. I mean, good grief. What a shocking idea that would have been. And of course, all this conversation does remind me that I know that I need to finish my Dominion script rewrite at some point. Okay, one security camera there. One security camera there. I think we need one down here. Let's put one down here. I really like these little security cameras. I think they're a really good additional sort of building decorative touch that you can put down. Just helps to make your parks look a little bit more realistic. Right. So where should we put dinosaur cages? Let's have some dinosaur cage storage down here. Let's have like Make sure there's a decent enough gap. And then let's put in some dino cages. Let's have a big one there, and big one there, and can we squeeze 3 in? Just about. You know what I think might be fun? Probably doesn't obey health and safety regulations, but have one on. Oh dear, it's not center, is it? Have one on top. Oh, that's actually not tall enough. They're a really bizarre shape. I've never taken much time to actually look at the cages properly. They're a very odd shape. Huh. Yeah, that would really not be safe. Yeah, I don't like that actually. I do like to stick to some realism in my park builds. Gotta make sure there's plenty of space next to these cages. Okay, I like that. We've got some other areas of empty space. What other sort of things going on can we have? There's a big bit of space there. Ironic, Fletcher hates the Lost World cages. No, I don't. They are the Lost World cages. I don't hate them at all. Hello, Neron. Maybe we could have something going on. Where have we got? Let's have another bit of cage storage down here. But we'll have an actual vehicle doing something with it. You know, it has occurred to me that we're missing a vet. Is there somewhere we could even put a vet? Because it's a very big building, isn't it? Don't really think so. Maybe we could put the vet elsewhere somewhere. We'll put the vet elsewhere. Right, so let's have like a... Let's actually have a truck in here. And let's have it... So let's leave... Let's have two... Let's leave a gap. And then this one, we will have... hanging from the crane. Let's see, kind of about there. Yeah, about that. Let's put some generic open things about. What other... Oh, we got these really huge Indoraptor cages. Don't like them. These little Atrociraptor cages, I like to think of that these are the things like that the Compies or the Segisaurus or stuff like that is transported in, because they would be the perfect size for like the tiniest of dinosaurs. Or Troodon, yeah. Now, somewhere we do need our little marker. Let's put it here. And in a minute, I'm going to cause a debate in chat. So, chat. Every area in my testing park on Britain had a statue from the statue mod representing an animal from that particular sort of theme. So the terrain area had a T-Rex. The lagoon area had a Kronosaurus, and the aviary had some Dimorphodon. So for this park, what animal, terrain-based to begin with, shall we have to represent this area of the park? So any species on land can be used, and you have to explain why. You can't just say it should be this species. I want you to explain to me why you think it should be that species. What species are from California? I don't think there are any species that are from California. I don't think it has animal species. I know that near where Nerd Guy Productions lives, in Vegas, they have a giant ichthyosaur species, which I thought was very cool. Corythosaurus? Some kind of sauropod? I mean, yeah, I mean, this is, you know, this is supposed to be symbolizing the whole of this area. So it's got, I would say it's got to be a species that's dramatic and going to look good as a statue. I mean, that's why I picked T-Rex the last time. There's a bit of a gap there. Utahraptor. Let's have a look at the Utahraptor statue. I mean, it doesn't have to be an American animal. Any land animal. It's a bit small. Brachysauroposeidon. Brachy might be nice. Hang on, where? I feel that Brachiosaurus gets overlooked a little nowadays. Yeah, let's have Brachy. I do feel that poor old Brachy gets overlooked as a result of Alamosaurus and the other arguably better sauropods that have come in. You can't exactly be denied that there are better sauropods in the game now, but I do think it's a bit unfair to poor old Brachy. Yeah, nice. A little bit of a seating area. I swear this park is getting more decorations than some people's Battle of the Builders parks I've seen. Let's mix it up a bit. Let's have some... Nice. Okay, I have a question for you. Which dinosaur prehistoric species left a lasting impact? Ooh. Mine is a bit of a cheat. So, for me, it was the Walking with Dinosaurs Liporodon. I know it's not accurate to the fossil evidence. I know these days Liporodon is a very different monster to what it was back then. But I had never heard of Liporodon up to that Walking with Dinosaurs episode. And I still to this day remember, you know, my parents having recorded it for me to watch the next night. And switching on the video recording and watching this monster just utterly ruin this poor Eustriptus spondylus. And yeah, from then on I was like, that's a damn cool animal. I mean, I think it would be fairer to say the Walking with Dinosaurs left a very lasting impact on me and in general when it comes to dinosaurs. I think a lot of people these days, because of things like Prehistoric Planet and all of the other documentaries, apart from that one we won't talk about, I think people forget sometimes that it was Walking with Dinosaurs that did it all first. And the only reason that we have any of these programs, like Prehistoric Planet, is because Walking with Dinosaurs decided to go out on a limb and make what was, and I still think is, the most expensive documentary series ever produced. And a lot of people give the game quite a bit of stick these days because it's not paleontologically accurate anymore, and it's, you know, they made a few mistakes here and there, and I'm like, you guys wouldn't have all of these other shows without it. So I think it deserves a little more respect than I think it gets. Not to mention, I still think Walking with Dinosaurs does a lot of things better than I think Prehistoric Planet did. As much as I think Prehistoric Planet was good, I think Walking with Dinosaurs was able to establish a better narrative, and I certainly feel like I built more of a connection with the animals in Walking with Dinosaurs than I ever did in Prehistoric Planet. Which I think is kind of important. Didn't get that straight, did I? Oh well. And as good as Sir David Attenborough's narration of Prehistoric Planet is, and obviously I would never discredit Sir David Attenborough, because he is an absolutely brilliant individual and still going strong at the age of, I think he turned 98 the other day. That being said, I do think that Kenneth Branagh was a better narrator in Walking with Dinosaurs. David's style is very methodical, very, You know, it's the sort of thing that you could fall asleep listening to. It's very relaxed, very calm, very... I don't want to say one note, but it's definitely a very different style to Kenneth Branagh's in Walking with Dinosaurs. And I just think that Kenneth Branagh's style suited Walking with Dinosaurs more than Attenborough's style suited Prehistoric Planet. But again, that is very small fry. Especially when you think that no, I'm not talking about the Discovery Kids version of Walking with Dinosaurs, Dinosaur King. I'm talking about the version of... I'm talking about the original. When it was on TV. For the first time. Hey, this is starting to look a bit better, a bit nicer. Walking with Dinosaurs is a true classic for dinosaur documentaries. I don't care that the designs are inaccurate because they behave like actual animals. It still holds up to this day. Yeah, I mean, I think it really does still hold up. I mean, I still think that the animation, I still think that the CGI quality really does still hold up. Not in every scene, but in a majority of scenes, I think it still holds up really well. So I feel like we do need some floodlights around as well. So I'm going to put some in here. And which way do we want them facing? I suppose we want some floodlights facing the entrance. And the immediate exit. So let's have that one facing that way. That makes sense to me. To me, Brachiosaurus, especially the Jurassic Park 1 scene, when 8-year-old Neron saw that massive behemoth walk into screen, I fell in love. Aww. It was a good scene. It's a little bit empty here, so let's... something there. Oh, we do have munitions, don't we? What other bits and bobs do we have down here? That could work. I wish these walls were a little bit shorter. We can have this as kind of like the armory. Also got some of these. So there's our like high security storage. Kaiden expanded paths and fences mod is still kind of working, but it's not. It's kind of also slightly broken, and the way that it breaks the game kind of affects how I build parks. So I kind of have to. I've made a decision to wait until it's fixed before I go and get it. I think we could do with something just to protect from the cars. Because obviously we don't want cars, you know, screeching through or whatever. Feathered dinosaurs is a strange one. Like, seeing the comments to Prehistoric Planet about people accusing feathered dinosaurs of looking gay, I was like, what the heck? These very strange, peculiar individuals that kind of want to somehow make the look of a dinosaur somehow relating to wokeism or whatever. It's just really bizarre. It's a fucking dinosaur. I'm not being funny, but if you saw a T-Rex in real life and it happened to have a few feathers, are you really going to stand there and go, oh, well, that looks gay, doesn't it? No, you're not. Because regardless of how it looks, it's still fucking scary. It's a fucking massive dinosaur. Fucking 5 tons of teeth and damn good eyesight and damn good vision. Sense of smell, sorry. It doesn't matter where you go or where you try to hide, it'll find you and it will eat you if it wants to. Just because it has feathers, it doesn't... I don't think it discredits the idea that it will, can, and definitely will be happy to eat you alive. That's just my view of it anyway. Some people are just that way sometimes, yeah. Well, it's been 2 hours. The stream seems to be accepting the higher bitrate and everything, and streaming in the in 1440p perfectly well. And honestly, I think we've made a good start with this. I mean, obviously I'm going to build the rest off stream, but I think we've ended up with a really nice little facility area down here. There's a few little patches to decorate still down here, and I want to do something with these big open concrete areas, especially down here. But yeah, I think this has proven that it's very relaxing, just taking a short little bit of time to just build a small little facility. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, spending this last couple of hours with me. I'll see you all on Sunday, and until then, stay safe and good night.